Hi there everyone, this is Sean 007 1986. So yeah, I did a video talking about ESPN quietly produced a show that features eight left-wing race baiting extremist Ibram X Kendi. Oh, excuse me, Dr. Kendi. I know, bullshit, right? That's gonna be featuring Jamel Hill. Even though I didn't fuck her name up, I don't care about her. But then I did talk about the second. Then I talked about that I was gonna do that video, and then I'm gonna do another article talking about this one. Well, I'm doing this one and this one. I'm just shaking my goddamn head on this one and was like going, "Are y'all fucking for real right now?" So what am I talking about? Well, apparently in their documentary, ESPN and Ibram X Kendi documentary claims that athletes are literally the new slaves and that sports contracts, the contracts that they sign, they get paid like millions of motherfucking money to play a fucking sport, is now the new slave chains. I wish I was joking. I really wish I was, but they are being dead serious. And honestly, I might as well gonna say this right off the back: if that's making you being a slave, shit, let me sign that contract and get some of that paper. Fuck you mean? Oh shit, man, I don't mind getting some money. All right, I mean this from Outkick again. ESPN Ibram X Kendi documentary claims that athletes are literally the new slaves. Sports contracts are the new slave chains. I swear to God, you can't make this shit up. Earlier this week, Outkick reported that ESPN quietly produced a series called Skin in the Game. The noted race hustler Ibram X Kendi. We said quietly because they did not promote it as much as they usually do, especially when it comes to their products that basically cry racism. From that story, a recap. I have heard nothing about this ESPN Plus series titled Skin in the Game. Apparently, it appeared September 20, nearly 2 weeks ago. All 5 episodes are available on ESPN's streaming platform. According to ESPN's press release, the series delves into and challenges racism in the sports world and reveal how pervasive racism is in sports, while challenging the thoughts and systems of various governing bodies. Whew. Yeah. You can read that entire piece if you were interested in things like Ibram Kendi's credentials and why I believe ESPN tried to keep this series mostly under wraps. I did a previous video on that one. You can check that out too. I'll leave if you want. You can check that out too. I'll leave a link into the description to that video. One quick note on Kendi though before I continue. Of course, there are conflicting reports on whether his birth name was Ibram Henry Rogers or simply Henry Rogers. Either way, he changed his name to Ibram Exola Rogers, and then married an actual doctor whose last name was Kendi and took her name. Wow. That's pretty fucked up if you ask me. Feel free to do with that information what you will. I mean, he's a scumbag, man. I mean, seriously, I'm happy with the name I got, okay? If you want to know what my full name is, okay, well, my normal name, which is short, is Sean Fisher. But my full name is Sean Antonio Lamont Fisher. Yes, I have 2 last names. I have 2 middle names. It's unique, although people always call me Sean Antonio Fisher. Hey, I got a weird and crazy life, man. I stuck with that name. Hey, I'm proud of my name, man. I'm proud of that. Although it's kind of funny though, because in Grand Theft Auto 5 when I play online, I usually go by name Sean Slay. That Slay is my father's last name, so I figure, you know what, how about I call myself Sean Slay, so it makes me feel like, carry my dad's name, bring some pride to it, like Captain Fools in Grand Theft Auto Online. I am I'm a weird fucking kid, okay? Well, not really a kid, but you know, it's like I'm a weird guy. Then I'm weird. I am weird as fuck sometimes. Because I care deeply about the Outkick audience, as you should, I watch the show. Why? I know you don't want to do that, and frankly, I didn't either. But at least I got paid to do it. Though to be fair, not nearly enough. Y'all need to pay that man. You need to pay this boy, man. You let him watch this show, he has to get paid for it, man. Y'all gotta give him more money, man. Fuck you mean. I agree. Fair, though not fair. No, to be fair, not nearly enough. I feel sorry for you, man. I feel sorry for you, my man. You did my boy dirty. You did my boy dirty. Without further ado, let me hold on to my chest. Be still, my poor beating heart. Some of the highlights. I like how he put highlights in put quotation marks in highlights. That's pretty good. From the first episode of ESPN of Ibram Kendi's Everything in Sports is Racist special. I assumed that was the original title, but they figure it might not do as well and change it to Skin in the Game. I fucking hate race. I fucking hate race hustlers. I really do. Highlights from ESPN's Ibram Kendi's, aka Henry Rogers' first episode, Skin in the Game. Episode 1, Power to the Players. Oh, they stole that shit. They stole that tagline from GameStop. The show opens with Ibram Kendi sitting on a chair wearing his shirt that reads the 1619 Project. That, of course, refers to the New York Times project that aims to reframe American history. Essentially, the idea is that America can never atone for slavery, that slavery was a core tenet in the creation of the nation, and thus, for its entire existence and its perpetuity, it is inherently racist land. And we're already off to a flying fucking start. Yeah, wearing a shirt. I don't know what's worse. Him wearing a shirt that reads the 1619 Project, or Colin Kaepernick wearing a Kuta Kente shirt during his fucking workout. Both of them are idiots though, but that's just my 2 cents. Moving on. The first episode titled Power to the Players refers to players using sports to fight for social justice. Side note, what exactly is social justice? It's a great term, but it has no real meaning. No one who claims to fight for it can actually define it. It's just like defining a woman, I suppose. Burn. 3 minutes in, we get the first Colin Kaepernick reference. I'm shocked it took that long. Quite honestly, wow, 3 minutes in, that must be a new record. Jesus Christ, there's a pic. I'll leave an article in this up. Jesus Christ, he still look like that Sideshow Bob looking motherfucker. 5 minutes in, and I've already lost count of the platitudes. Well, shoot, if I watched, to be perfectly honest, if I actually watched it, I would have died of boredom. Which is actually true. You can die of boredom. So many phrases that sounds profound but offer zero substance. Kind of like listening to any Eminem's record. Things like use their platform, fight for change, speak up, athletic activism, social injustice, systematic racism, blah 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 blah. But still not one actual piece of evidence of what change or fight we're even talking about. No, it's not. Next, they do actually dive into a specific situation. Kalen Hill, the former Mississippi State running back, discussed his role in getting the Confederate flag removed from the Mississippi State Capitol. An admirable cause, to be sure, but it's difficult to reconcile the idea that a flag is the biggest problem facing black Americans in Mississippi. If it is, then great. That means there aren't any more pressing issues. That's a good sign. And not an ominous one. If you thought the first half was racially charged, just wait till you get to part 2. Next, Kendi welcomes acclaimed journalist and author, hence the quote, hence the quotation marks, Howard Bryan. He did not mention Bryan's past history of violence. Of course it didn't. Of course he didn't, because if that were the case, it would have fucked them up. That's interesting, since the show used a LeBron James clip in an earlier vintage asking people to end the violence. Oh, the fucking irony. Bryan drops this gem: you pay a price for being black in America. There is no question about it. That's an interesting comment, given the source. Remember that Bryan was arrested for allegedly choking his wife in public and then assaulted a police officer who arrived at the scene to protect his wife. Bryan initially claimed that his arrest was racially motivated, because of course he did, before he later apologized for the claim. He served no jail time and accepted probation to avoid any criminal charges. Yeah, I bet you if this was, I bet you if it's someone like me who pulls some shit like that, I'll probably do jail time. Well, not that I never would. I am a gentle soul. But you get on my bad side if you fuck with me. That's all I gotta say. Yeah, people like Kendi invite him on shows to talk about racism, because of course they do. They call him an acclaimed journalist. If he's an acclaimed journalist, then I'm a fucking millionaire. Sure seems that Bryan didn't pay a price for his actual crimes, let alone the ones he claims without evidence. Then along came Olympian Gwendolyn Berry, continuing the discussion on athlete activism. As the majority of the episode, they consist of referencing acts from athletes from the 1960s who actually did stand up against racist policy in America. No one is arguing that black citizens in the United States in the early to mid 1990s faced racism that was backed by policy. The question is, what policies are in place? The question is, hold on. The question is, what policies are in place now? What are these changes that athletes are fighting for? There was no policy in place right now. There was nothing. It was pretty much all smoke and mirrors. Other than the argument about police brutality, which is not statistically backed and is mainly narrative driven. Like, seriously though, they always bring out that whole police brutality bullshit. And yes, before you say anything, yes, there is a police brutality, but it's mostly whites getting clapped by the police, and there was only a small percentage of blacks getting clapped by the police. I mean, it's kind of funny how they talk about that shit, but they never address the glaring issues that happens in the black community, which is, the ongoing black on black murders. Oh, right. They won't talk about it because that destroys the narrative. Gotcha. No one ever answers that critical question. ESPN's Ibram Kendi and his guests on Skin in the Game certainly don't either. Gwendolyn Berry makes an outrageous comparison with Howard Bryan, Brandon X. Kendi, aka Henry Rogers, nodding in approval. But then comes the biggest bombshell of the entire episode, and it's delivered by Berry. Berry gained attention when she was raised her fist during the American national anthem after winning gold in the 2019 Pan American Games. She said at the time that she did it to represent those who died due to this systematic racism. She did not give examples of people dying for the systematic racism. No, they don't. They never do. They just say it and that was it. In the conversation with Kendi and Bryan, Berry claimed the athletic contracts are the new slave chains. I'm not a historian, but I do believe slave chains come with multi-million dollar deals, fame, and public status. Not to mention endorsement deals. Seriously, you get a lot. Seriously, with all that shit, you don't have to work a day in your life. You'll be loaded. You just have to perform at the highest level at a sporting convention. And then when the off season comes, you can use that time to go out to your hang out with your families, travel, work on your craft and anything, or just round around, be not giving a fuck, or do some work that actually benefits the community. Something that these race hustlers won't do. I also don't don't believe that slaves have a choice on whether or not to accept those chains. Whether athletes don't have to sign multi-million dollar deals. I could be wrong. Someone can correct me here if I'm mistaken. Yeah, because if that's the case, if that's the case, then why do athletes like Baltimore Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson wanting a bigger payday in their contract? Or how about the fact that the Cleveland Browns gave Deshaun Watson a contract that has $230 million in guaranteed money, which is the most dumbest thing the Browns ever did, but I digress on that one. Athletes are literally the new slaves, he continues, because we need this. Our families, our friends depend on this contract to eat. Very clearly doesn't understand what the word literally means. And whilst he makes these absurd comparisons, Brian happily nods along and Kendi punctuates her point with a sigh and simply says, "Yep." Professional athletes are akin to slaves, according to Ibram, Kendi, and ESPN. Okay, a lot to digest there. Excuse the pun. First, athletes are not required to sign contracts or play sports at all. That's how America works. They are free to choose other lines of work that don't require signing contracts. Second, almost all Americans feed their families, though probably not their friends, on normal jobs. This option is relatively available. However, most normal jobs doesn't come with 6, 7, or 8-figure signing bonuses. I should know. When I sign up for my job, that's it. I don't get a 6-figure signing bonus, 7-figure signing bonus, 8 signing bonus. Hell, I'd be lucky if I get a 9th. Hell, I didn't even get a 9th-figure signing bonus. I suspect that professional athletes choose this profession based on the income potential. Again, the key word being choose. Third, she complains that if athletes break the contract, they lose money. Yes, that's how contracts work. All contracts, even the ones non-black people sign. That's the deal. Speaking of which, non-black athletes also sign contracts to play professional sports. So even if her point were true, which it isn't, how are contracts racist? Exactly. This is a problem when people attempt to rewrite history. The 1619 Project seeks to make everything about slavery. Thus, people who buy into this narrative see it everywhere. There is no comparison between slavery and professional athletes. Full stop. But activists need something to fight against. If that something doesn't exist, they create it. Later, Barry goes on to say that athletes have so much political power, it's ridiculous. Well, that sure flies in the face of her slavery point. Again, I'm not a historian, but I don't think slaves sat around talking about their political powers. No, they don't. There you have it. One episode in, and we checked all the major boxes on slavery, on racism. Not sure what the other 4 episodes have in store for us, but be sure to check back for my next review of Skin in the Game, aka Sports and Everything Else in America's Racist, presented by ESPN, featuring Ibram X Kendi, aka Henry Rogers. Yeah, this is the most stupidest thing imaginable, and the sad part is Dan Z, my boy, he only watched the first episode. And I hope Outkick pays him enough to watch this goddamn slop, because it couldn't be me. It could be me, man. If you're gonna have to pay me, it will have to be a reasonable fucking amount to watch this bullshit. Because it seems like a bunch of bullshit to me. And I love how they say that athletes are literally the new slaves and sports contracts are the new slave contracts, or the new slave chains. This is so goddamn stupid. I don't even know what the fuck they're talking about. Before I end this video with my usual greeting, I'm gonna end this with a very important quote. Take a wild guess who said this line. What is the difference between a man and a slave? Is it money? Is it power? No. A man chooses. A slave obeys. Feel free to leave who said that line in the comments below. As always, be sure to leave a comment, like this video, subscribe to this channel, click the notification bell so you don't miss an update, share with friends, share with neighbors, share with others, and that's about it. Until next time, this is Sean 0071986 signing off. Thank you for watching this video. It really means a lot, and I'll see you in the next one. Catch you later. Bye! Fuck you, ESPN.